Good morning, students. This is the second video of the chapter Outcomes of Democracy. And in this particular second video, we will try to understand the subtopic Economic Growth and Development. And after that, we will try to understand that why the democracy has not been able to reduce inequality so far. So let's start the video. Economic growth and development. These are very important for development of a country, and particularly if the country is a democratic country. But if if we compare the data of democratic country and dictatorship, you will find there is a huge difference. In dictatorship, there is a possibility of more growth, and in fact, many data revealed the opposite figure. So let us discuss here. We need to understand, if democracies are expected to produce good governments, then is it not fair to expect that they would also produce development? But the reality is quite different. Democracy may produce good government, but at the same time, it is not going to produce the development that is required. Maybe many reasons are there, so we cannot blame any one particular factor for this. So let's discuss the facts first. Economic growth and development. If you are going to compare the data of dictatorship and democracy, between 1950 and 2000, dictatorship have slightly higher rate of economic growth. So if we are going to see the growth in between the 50 years, we will find that in dictatorship the performance was better in terms of economic growth. So it means that democracy is not a good government. No, we can't tell. We can't tell so. Why? Because there are so many factors which determine the economic development of a country. Don't think that only if there is a particular government, if there is a dictatorship, then only the economic growth will be high or low. There are other factors also which are equally responsible for making economic growth or for creating the economic growth. So let us discuss those factors. Now, these are three factors. There are 3 to 4 factors that has been mentioned here. The first is the size of the population of a country. Of course, size matters a lot. If the size of a population is high, is more, then it is going to hamper the economic growth of a country. If I am going to compare the data of India with other countries, you will find the difference. Here the population density is very high. In other countries, population density is not too high, and that is why most of the resources that are distributed there, they are equally distributed. But in our country, there is a lot of problem regarding the distribution because of the population problem. Next one is the global situation. Global situation is also another factor because we all know that we are dependent for loans on world institutions like World Bank and International Monetary Fund. Similarly, Asian Development Banks is there, BRICS banks are there. So there are so many international institutions which are going to provide loans or assistance to these countries. But despite the fact, many countries are getting less and many countries are getting more. So it also determines the nature of economic growth of a country. Next one is cooperation from other countries. If any country is lagging behind, that country must get cooperation from other countries. But if the country is not going to get any type of cooperation from other countries, then of course it will lag behind. It will not go in the race on equal footings, and it will face many problems on the international as well as domestic front. So we saw here that economic growth is going to be determined by many factors here. Apart from that, economic policy adopted by a country, it also determines the economic growth of a country. If we are going to take the example of India, before 1990s, India was facing a tremendous negative growth on economic front. What was the reason? Because at the time we were following the old pattern of economics, and after that we adopted the concept of globalization, and after that situation changed and our economic growth improved also. So we need to understand here that economic policy of a country greatly determines the economic growth of a country. So economic policy versus economic growth, it means that it has a clear-cut impact on the economic growth of a country, and India has adopted different policy and the result was also different. Now, however, the difference in the rates of economic development between less developed countries with dictatorship and democracies are negligible. Now, we need to understand a very interesting fact that okay, it is true that there is a difference in democracy and dictatorship if we are going to compare the data. But the condition of poor person in dictatorship or the condition of poor person in democracy is almost the same. The difference is there at the top level, at the upper level. But so far as difference is concerned at the lower level, it is the same. Or if we are going to consider, if we are going to take the example of lowest structure of the society, it is almost same, whether it is democracy, whether it is dictatorship. So this is quite interesting to understand. Now let us discuss this diagram, this particular image, and we can easily understand that here China is there and it is a country that is completely communist country, but here dictatorship is there, and USA is completely democratic country. But despite the fact that democratic countries, USA is a democratic country, you can see the economic growth. You can see the trend. It has been shown in a red line, and you can see how how the China is going up. It has been shown with red line, whereas green has been shown with America, and America is little bit declining. So economic growth of China is high, although it is a dictatorship country, but democracy is little bit, it is going down, or it is little bit far behind than the dictatorship. So we saw here, so what we saw in through a discussion, that democracy and dictatorship, two different forms of government are there. But if the economic growth is there, is more there in, if the economic growth is more there in dictatorship, it doesn't matter that in that case we are going to tell that democracy is not good form of government and dictatorship is good form of government, because there are so many other factors that are equally responsible for the economic growth. So we already discussed it. Thank you. Now after that, reduction of inequality and poverty. That is the another segment we need to understand. We all know that in our country, few millionaires are there, and they are going to get all the facilities, they are going to enjoy all the facilities, whereas most of the people are not getting the basic requirements. You can see here in this particular image, it has been shown that only one person is getting all the advantage, whereas number of people are falling behind, or they are at the margin. They are not going to get that much facility. So that is a very important point that must be raised in a democracy, that democracy is all about political equality. So far as social and economic equality is concerned, it has not been achieved so far by democracy. So it is the drawback of democracy, that democracy has achieved political equality, but on the same front it has not achieved economic equality. So there is a inequality. So there is a need to reduce inequality in our society and to reduce the poverty. Now you can see here the concentration of wealth has been increased under few heads. At the same time, the poverty is also increased. So you have to understand, a satire is there that you have nothing to complain about, your side is growing too. It means that there is an increase in poverty as well as concentration of wealth. So concentration of wealth is there in few hands, at the same time rate of poverty is also increasing. So we have to understand that and poverty and inequality is growing in democracy. It is growing in democracy, and we need to sort it out. So if democracy has achieved the political equality, then it can also achieve the economic equality. But there is a lots of gap which needs to be fulfilled under the democracy. But the time will definitely come when the democracy will sort out this problem also, as it achieved the target of political equality. So in the future, maybe it will also achieve the target of economic and social equality. Now, we need to understand here, it is very clear that a small number of ultra rich enjoy a highly disproportionate share of wealth and incomes. Their share in the total income of the country has been increasing. So we have seen that few person are only getting the advantage, whereas those at the bottom status of society have very little to depend upon. Their income have been declining. So only few person are there in the society which are getting or which are concentrating most of the resources of the country, whereas most of the people are still lagging behind. They are declining in terms of their income, in terms of their facility, in terms of their share of wealth. So we saw here that only few person are getting, and that is the very much, or that is the very painful demerit. So this is all about that we need to discuss here. Thank you so much.